The Trials of Abena. In the small village of Kumasi, nestled between rolling hills and a winding river, lived a young girl named Abena, the only child of Kojo, a humble farmer, and Esai, a skilled weaver. Life was difficult. The soil had grown less fertile, making harvest unpredictable, and Esai's beautifully woven fabrics barely fetched enough to buy food. Despite their struggles, Abena was filled with dreams. She often sat under the great baobab tree, watching the birds and whispering, "One day, I will rise above this life." But the villagers mocked her ambitions. "What can a poor girl like you achieve?" they sneered. Still, Abena refused to be discouraged. Deep down, she knew she was destined for something greater. When Abena turned 15, tragedy struck. Her father collapsed one evening, burning with fever. Despite her mother's desperate attempts to heal him with herbs, Kojo grew weaker and could no longer walk. The burden of providing for the family fell on Abena. She woke before dawn to tend to the farm, wove fabric with her mother by day, and sold goods in the market by evening. Her hands blistered, her back ached, but she pressed on, determined to keep her family from starving. Yet, no matter how hard she worked, their earnings were never enough. Some nights, she lay awake, listening to her mother's muffled sobs. One day at the market, Abena overheard a group of travelers speaking in hushed tones. "Kumasi is a land of opportunity," one man said. "A hard worker can make something of themselves there." Abena's heart pounded. She had heard of Kumasi, the great city where merchants and craftsmen thrived. That night, she told her mother, "I must go, Mama. If I succeed, our lives will change forever." "Yes," I wept. "The city is dangerous. How will you survive among strangers?" "I don't know," Abena admitted, "but I have to try." At dawn, with only a bundle of provisions and her mother's blessings, Abena set off on foot toward Kumasi. The journey was grueling. She trekked for days, her feet swollen and sore. She crossed rivers with waters that nearly pulled her under and slept under trees, clutching her bundle against the cold. Hunger gnawed at her, but she refused to turn back. One evening, a group of men emerged from the shadows. "What do you have, girl?" one sneered. Thinking quickly, Abena handed them a small woven cloth. "A gift for a kind stranger," she said. The men took it and left, never realizing she had hidden her few coins in the soles of her shoes. Exhausted but relieved, she continued, determined to reach Kumasi. When she finally arrived, Kumasi overwhelmed her. The noise, the towering buildings, the bustling streets, it was unlike anything she had ever seen. She wandered for hours, searching for work. Many doors shut in her face. Finally, she found a small tailoring shop where the owner, Mr. Mensah, hired her as a cleaner. The pay was meager, barely enough for a space in a crowded slum. But Abena was not content. She watched the tailors closely, studying how they measured and stitched fabric. At night, she practiced sewing with scraps of cloth discarded by the tailors. Months passed, and Abena's skills improved. One day, when a tailor fell sick, she boldly offered to finish his work. Mr. Mensah hesitated but allowed her to try. The customer was impressed. "She has talent," he said. From that day on, Abena was no longer just a cleaner, she was an apprentice. She worked tirelessly, mastering every technique, saving every coin, and dreaming of the day she could have her own shop. Years later, Abena had saved enough to rent a small space and start her own tailoring shop. She named it Dream Sewn in Thread, a tribute to her journey from poverty to independence. Her unique designs quickly gained popularity, attracting customers from all over Kumasi. Wealthy merchants and traders sought her craftsmanship, and soon her small shop became a thriving business. She expanded, hired apprentices, and became one of the most respected tailors in the city. Despite her success, Abena never forgot her village. She returned to Kumasi and built a proper house for her parents. She also opened a training center for young girls, teaching them tailoring and entrepreneurship. No dream is too big, she told them. If I can rise from nothing, so can you. The village that once mocked her now celebrated her as a symbol of hope and perseverance. Years later, Abena stood before a crowd in Kumasi, receiving an award as one of the region's most successful entrepreneurs. As she held the trophy, she thought of the dusty road she once walked, the struggles that had shaped her. Success, she said in her speech, is not just about reaching the top. It is about lifting others as you climb. The audience erupted in applause, but Abena remained humble. She knew her journey had been filled with pain, sacrifice, and trials. But she had conquered them all. And in doing so, she had rewritten her destiny. Lessons. Hard work and resilience lead to success. Abena never let hardship break her. She worked tirelessly, endured struggles, and refused to give up, which ultimately led to her success. Dream big even when others doubt you. Despite being mocked by villagers, Abena held onto her dreams. She believed in herself when no one else did. Adaptability and learning are key. She started as a cleaner but observed, learned, and practiced tailoring, proving that growth comes from persistence and willingness to learn. Giving back strengthens your legacy. Abena didn't just succeed for herself, she uplifted her family and community, ensuring others could also rise above poverty. Success is about lifting others. True success is not just personal achievement, it is about creating opportunities for others, just as Abena did for young girls in her village.